Bugs, happy Monday. So this is going to be our last week of historical fiction. So you'll only be hearing me talk about historical fiction for this one last week. So I hope you all had a great weekend and are ready to get back to Monday routine. I know I am. So today we're going to be doing historical fiction. We're going to be doing something that you've done a lot of in school. So you've definitely had a lot of practice, and that's because we're going to be thinking about theme. And I know that you have all done theme for almost every book in class. So you definitely know what a theme is. If you don't remember what a theme is, so take it by the part of the word. So the theme is the message. So if you're in my class, you remember that lovely drawing I made about how we can break apart the word theme to remember that it's called the message. So the theme is the message of the story, and that's what we're going to be thinking about today. Since this week is our last week of historical fiction, make sure you're reading that historical fiction book, because it should be done by Friday, because this is our last week of doing it. So our agenda today is that we're going to watch this video of me teaching reading. You're going to read some of that historical fiction book I just mentioned, and then your independent practice is going to be listing possible themes. So we're not going to go and write long about any one theme. We're just going to list a couple possible themes for your books. So today we're going to think about themes, and we're going to be able to support those themes with evidence from the story. So just because you are thinking of a theme doesn't mean that it always works. You have to be able to explain and support why the theme for that book makes sense with using evidence, quotes, pages, anything from the story. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. So definitely know you've seen this too. So you're going to be looking at when we're determining theme, when we're finding the theme, when we're deciding on the theme. You're going to be looking at grade 4. So in grade 4, when you are looking at the theme of your book, you're asking, what is the story really about? And we're going to start with this first part where it says, I come up with tentative ideas that I test as I read on. So, in your head, you're going to think about some ideas that could work for your book, some themes that you think you're seeing so far. So it might become clear towards the end of the book, when you finish the book, what it was really about, and you're like, wow, I really learned that lesson. But right now, you're just thinking of themes that you think work for your book so far. So, coming back to our read aloud of The Babe and I. So some possible themes of The Babe and I are that people work together to get their family through hard times. So some text evidence that I can use for that is that the narrator, the son of the family, gets a job to help pay for things in his family, and the dad is continuing to work selling apples. So everyone is working together to get their family through the hard time of not having money. Another possible theme are that when times are tough, don't give up. Another theme is family is a team that works together, so that goes really well with the first one and the evidence that we can use for the first one, so that's kind of sounding like a pretty strong theme for us. Hard times make children grow up fast, so it's especially true, and I know we've talked about how it was really different back then, because now it's not so common that, the kids in the family have a job, but back then it does seem pretty common. So for the historical part of it, that totally might be a theme, that hard times make children grow up fast and appreciate what you have. So the narrator definitely should have appreciated the fact that he was given anything for his birthday, especially in such a hard time, and that he should have appreciated his father working so hard, selling apples, to be able to give him even that dime for his birthday. So those are just some possible themes to come up with for The Babe and I. So you could have thought of other ones while you were listening to it being read aloud. That's fine too. The great thing about reading and the great thing about thinking about themes is there really is no wrong answer. The hard part is when you have to come up with your text evidence. So as long as you can support your theme with things that happened in the book, it sounds pretty good to us. So that's what you're going to do today. So these are some 3 big questions to help you find what your theme is. So while you're reading, or after you're done reading today, you're going to think about some of these 3 big questions. What big ideas do you think is an important part of your story? What is the story mostly about? And then my favorite is, what is my character learning about life? What am I learning from my character? So a theme is usually like a life lesson. So the message that the story is trying to tell you and the life lesson that you learn. So if we go back to looking at The Babe and I'm just going to pick the first one, for instance. People work together to get their family through hard times. So that's like a life lesson that can be applied to The Babe and I. It can be applied to someone's life it can be applied to a different character in a different book. So the theme should not have your character's name in it. The theme should not have anything specifically to do with your book. It should be a statement that can be used to any other book or your own personal life. So just because in The Babe and I there is, we don't know the narrator's name, but his friend's name is Jacob, even though his name is Jacob, in our theme we would never mention that, Jacob's family works together to get through hard times, or we would not mention that hard times make children like Jacob grow up fast. You take out the character's name and you just leave that life lesson in there. So I know we sometimes forget to do that. So when you're thinking, what is my character learning about life? What am I learning from my character? Remember, you're thinking of the big idea, the big message, the big life lesson that your story is teaching you, not specifically your characters, but what the book is teaching you about life. So that's what you're going to do today, is you're going to read your historical fiction book, and then you're going to just jot on this page or on the next page just 2 to 3 possible theme ideas for your historical fiction books. So just a list like this. That's all you need to do. So we'll take this a couple steps further as we go throughout the week, but all you're going to do today is just come up with a list of possible themes. Try to at least do 2 to 3. If you can do more, great, do more, but try to get at least 2 to 3 themes. Okay, good luck. Let us know if you have questions. Happy reading.